so I have a bit of time, so I'm gonna give a little conversation about how I felt about episode 10 of Only Friends today. Okay, so first of all, really, really hard episode. Super hard. I don't tear up in shows very easily or very often, and at the end of this one in particular, I was having a hard time. Now, the episode started with me with like I'm sorry, what is going on here? Top Logic is a very interesting little logic puzzle game to play. I don't really understand why he thinks the things he says make sense to people. They don't to me. But Mew is terrifying, which, like, I've been on this kick from the beginning that Mew is scary in many ways, but progressively got more kind of terrifying. Like, no thank you, sir, for me. But by the way, before I go into how I feel about all these characters, everyone's acting is amazing. I hope these guys understand that no matter what no matter what I'm thinking about these characters, I feel these way about these characters because their acting is so phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't be able to get these reads if it wasn't for their amazingness, okay? So, Mew progressively got even more and more terrifying to me. Like, I would not want to go back to Mew. I don't really want to go back to Top, but I definitely don't want to go back to Mew. But yeah. Now here's number one rant, okay? This guy, Adam, livid. He made me beyond mad. The things that he accused Top of Boston of doing to him, which were not true, because by now we know that that's not true, and we watched him hound Boston for more than what he gave him. Livid. And the fact that Choom, like, I'm all for, like, supporting your family and, like, going against people that did wrong to your family. And we knew from day one that she has issues with Boston. She will not let him live anything down for any reason, for God knows what reason. But the way that she went after Boston, if it was true, I would understand the rage. But first of all, that boy lied through every single teeth he had. And Boston tried to tell her what was going on. And then at the end, she's like, well, it doesn't matter who started it. You shouldn't have slept with my brother. Like, come on now. People sleep with people's brothers all the time. Like, this is not a smart, like, strange thing. Also, her implying that, like, Boston kind of, like, tipped him in the non-straight way. Like, there's so many issues, and Choom was, like, at the center of it. Mew with that smug little, like, are you sure you don't blackmail people kind of bullshit. No, this whole situation, super frickin' livid. Every frickin' part of it made me so mad. Even Ray, even though, like, he didn't defend anybody, and he definitely looked disappointed in Boston, to me, he didn't even look like he looked like he felt bad for Boston in a very small way, not in a way to, like, defend him or anything. But yeah. Next thing that I really, really, really want to talk about is Mond playing Boeing. This little chaos gremlin is, like, everything to me. Also, I'm highly, highly suspicious of who actually did the stealing, leaving, how that actual process happened with him and Sand, because how he started going after Mew, I'm thinking that he had way more involvement in the stealing away from Sand than we originally thought. We thought it was definitely a, sweet talking Top took him, but I'm thinking Mr. Boeing wanted to play possibly with the three, and then moved on to just Top and left Sand in the dust. But Mond played Boeing so freaking well. Oh, everything. Like, also, and I know this is just because I don't particularly like Mew or Top, but the fact that he makes both Top and Mew uncomfortable or uneasy, just, I don't know, it just makes my little petty heart happy. Like, I just like it. Now these two, phenomenal. I will say that I was not as moved by Neo's performance as I was by Mark's, but that could be just because Mark's performance was spectacular. I loved the entire thing, the entire situation, the entire conversation that these two had, but I was so moved by Mark. Mark did, like, it would seem over the top, but like in the situation it just made complete sense to me, and I loved it. I loved it. I was sad, but not like sad, just like meh sad. But I'm glad that they, like, it, the place that Boston had to be mentally and like emotionally to go back to Nick and do what, like, enter Nick's world the way he did again. It just pulled at me for some reason, and I don't really have like a good reason. Now I'm not going to show a picture for the last one because I will cry, okay? But the scene where Sand and Ray fight, okay? I understand it. It breaks my heart. I hated to see it, but do I understand why Ray went after Sand like that? Absolutely. The amount of like betrayal that he must have felt, thinking that everything that he just felt was basically a lie because his dad wanted him to go to rehab. Yeah, no, I get it. But also at the same time, I just want to shake these children. Just talk and listen, please. Just one of you talk, the other listen, like actually listen, and then that person talk and the other person like actually listen, because right now you guys are just yelling at each other and nobody's actually saying anything or listening to anything, and I'm just like, everybody's broken, and I don't like the broken, but I'm glad that they decided to not resolve the issue, because they didn't. Sand still has no idea what's happening, at least from my impression, but they resolved it with the dad. The dad said he was trying to give back the money, he like all that stuff, and that he put himself in rehab for Sand. I have issues with people going to rehab for themselves, but I not for themselves, for someone else, and because that puts a lot of pressure on the other person. However, I also am fully aware of that most of the time when they have to start, they have to go for someone because they don't care enough about themselves. That's how they got themselves there in the first place. So we're just going to move on from that fact and be grateful that he went back and that he talked. But oh my God, Cao Tang and that entire scene, I bawled. Like, I was struggling so much. Also, poor First, okay? Because First was struggling to keep a straight face because he was supposed to be like nonpartisan, because technically that poor child is letting his heart out to a therapist, not to Sand, and First has to pretend to be therapist who is not emotionally moved. But oh my God, the way his lip twitched and stuff when he was trying not to cry, I cannot. Every part of me was like, I also am not prepared for episode 11. I am really hoping that one thing is a flashback. Like, the thing with Sand and Boeing, I hope it's a flashback and not like an actual problem, because I'm gonna have actual problems if we're adding that issue back in. Let's have the gremlin, the little chaos gremlin, do bad things, but like, can we just not fuck up two relationships all at the same time with the same chaos gremlin? Like, come on now. Okay, I might talk about this again later, I don't know, but really good episode. But take care of your heart and your mind, guys, okay?